Let's talk about parallel and perpendicular lines. We've got two lines in this example, and we're asked to determine, are they parallel, are they perpendicular, or are they neither? Something we need to remember is that parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines, on the other hand, do not have the same slope, but they do have an interesting relationship. Let's say the first line has a slope of m, then the second line would be the opposite reciprocal of that. So I'll throw a negative in front to represent opposite, and then we flip it over to make it the reciprocal. So the relationship between these slopes is that they are opposite reciprocals. So all I'm going to do is find the slopes of each of the lines we're given and see, are they the same? Then that would mean we have parallel lines. Are they opposite reciprocals? Then we have perpendicular lines. Or are they neither? So I'm going to rewrite each of these equations in slope-intercept form because that's the easiest way for me to identify the slope. I'll call my first one equation 1 and the second one equation 2. So for line number 1, I have 3x plus 2y equals -8, and my goal is to rewrite it in slope-intercept form, which just means I need to get y by itself. So let me start by moving my x term to the other side. Since my goal is to write this in slope-intercept form, I do want that x term first, and then I'll put that -y after. And then when I go divide, I always divide everything, all three terms, by 2 to get -3 over 2x minus 4. Now comparing this to slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, I am looking at the value of m. M is the coefficient on x. So in this line, my slope is -3/2. So if I have a line that's parallel to this, it's going to also have a slope of -3/2. Keep in mind it also has to have a different y-intercept, otherwise it would just be the same exact line. If my line is perpendicular to this one, it would be opposite, so positive, and the reciprocal. So I'd flip it over to get 2/3. So parallel would have the same exact slope, perpendicular is going to be positive 2/3, and then maybe it's just neither, which means it's another number entirely. So let me look at equation 2, rewrite it in slope-intercept form, and find that slope. Again, I just want y isolated, so I'm going to move my 12 away. And now I divide all three terms by 6. If you don't like having the y on the right, it's not a big deal to go ahead and just move it over to the left, and it might look a little bit more familiar. Here I've got y equals mx plus b. Looking at m, that coefficient on my x, I see that my slope is -2/3. So I'm looking to see, first off, is it parallel? Are the two slopes the same? The first one is -3/2 and the second one is -2/3. So no, they're not the same. They are not going to be parallel. Second thing I check is, are they perpendicular, which means opposite reciprocal. One is -2/3 and one is -3/2. So while we flipped it over, they're both negative. So they are not opposite reciprocals. They're just reciprocals. So they're not perpendicular either, which means that these two lines are neither parallel nor perpendicular. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.